Representative Jasmine Crockett didn't just walk into the press room that day, she detonated it. What should have been an ordinary briefing turned into a political earthquake. With one move, she exposed Ivanka Trump's secret marriage, a revelation so shocking it shook Washington to its very core. The room froze. Cameras clicked. Reporters whispered in disbelief as the Trump dynasty's carefully crafted image began to crack before the nation's eyes. The White House press room, a stage long used to spin narratives, had never witnessed a moment like this. Crockett wasn't dealing in rumors. She came armed with facts, documents, and the courage to deliver them, live, under the full glare of the media. And what followed unraveled into chaos, fury, and the kind of scandal that rewrites history. Stay tuned, subscribe now, and hit the notification bell, because the next revelation is even bigger, and you won't want to miss it. On that fateful day, Crockett entered the press room calm, collected, but with a purpose written all over her face. She wasn't rushing, she wasn't posturing. Every step carried weight. In her hand, a single white envelope, slim but heavy with consequence. She placed it on the podium, and instantly the air shifted. Cameras flashed like lightning. Reporters froze, pens suspended midair, as though the room itself knew something irreversible was about to happen. The silence was electric, a hush that wrapped around every corner. Donald Trump's face flushed crimson, veins straining at his temples. Ivanka's polished smile, carefully rehearsed for years, wavered for the first time. And beyond those four walls, across millions of screens, the internet braced for impact, comments exploding in real time. Because Crockett wasn't there to gossip, to speculate, or to posture. She came armed with documents. She came armed with receipts. With the nation watching, Crockett leaned forward, her voice steady, and delivered the line that shattered everything. America deserves to know who Ivanka Trump was really married to. The words detonated like a grenade in the press room. For a heartbeat, there was silence, thick, suffocating silence, before the eruption. Reporters shouted over one another, microphones shoved forward, cameras clicking like machine gun fire. It was chaos, but all eyes were fixed on Ivanka. Her mask slipped in real time. The carefully polished composure she'd worn for decades cracked. Her eyes widened, glassy and unprepared, her body stiffening as though the ground itself had shifted beneath her. The daughter of a dynasty, suddenly cornered in front of the world. And still, Crockett didn't blink. She stood taller, voice cutting clean through the pandemonium. "I'm presenting what should have been asked years ago," she declared. Calm, deliberate, unflinching. The moment wasn't just explosive. It was historic. The Trump narrative, long protected and tightly controlled, was unraveling under a single statement. And outside those walls, social media erupted, hashtags blazing, clips going viral within minutes. The storm was here. And Jasmine Crockett had just placed herself at its very center. The tension reached a breaking point as Crockett slid a finger beneath the envelope seal and tore it open. No theatrics, no grand performance, just cold, undeniable facts. She lifted the papers, her voice cutting through the chaos. According to these records, Ivanka Trump was married before Jared Kushner. The room convulsed. Gasps echoed. Pens froze mid-scribble. The name that followed shattered the silence like thunder. Leonardo Paul Degrassi. It was a revelation no one had expected, and yet it explained so much. Who was this mysterious man? Why had his existence been wiped from the record? And why had Ivanka, the carefully sculpted princess of the Trump brand, buried this part of her past so deeply? Reporters launched into a frenzy, shouting questions, flashing cameras, demanding answers. On stage, Ivanka's flawless mask wavered. Her knuckles whitened on the podium, her smile cracking as her dynasty's myth unraveled in plain sight. Then came the twist no one saw coming. From the back of the room, a woman in a crisp navy blazer stepped forward, her posture steady, her presence commanding. She was introduced as an offshore registrar, an official who had handled Ivanka Trump's past records. For a split second, the room stilled again, all eyes narrowing in on her. When she spoke, her voice was calm, almost too calm for the bombshell she carried. She said, I was asked to remove records, but I didn't. A collective gasp rippled through the press corps, like a wave crashing against the walls. Crockett's eyes locked on her, razor sharp. Who asked you to delete them? The registrar's response was chilling in its simplicity. People who wanted the truth hidden. Chaos erupted. Reporters shouted, cameras whirred, secrets buried for decades were clawing violently into the light. And then Donald Trump snapped. From the sidelines, he stormed onto the stage like a thunderclap, his face a furious crimson, his jaw clenched so tight it looked ready to shatter. Cameras pivoted instantly, capturing every second as he jabbed his finger wildly at the air. His voice thundered across the room. "This is a lie. My daughter is the most honest person in this country. You will be sued. Fake news." The outburst echoed through the press room, but Jasmine Crockett didn't budge. She stood her ground, her calm composure forming a stark contrast to his boiling rage. Then, with surgical precision, she delivered her reply. "If there's nothing to hide, then there's nothing to fear." The words cut deeper than any shout. Reporters leaned forward, capturing the moment. Trump's fury wasn't intimidating, it was incriminating. And in front of millions, the dynasty's carefully engineered image was shattering in real time. Within minutes, hashtags like Ivanka Expose and Trump family secrets climbed to the top of global trends. Millions of users shared the footage, Ivanka's frozen smile, Trump's red-faced outburst, analyzed and reanalyzed in split-second detail. TikTok edits racked up views in the millions. Twitter was flooded with memes that turned the so-called dynasty into a punchline. YouTube streams replayed the moment like a cultural earthquake. What started as speculation quickly became an obsession. Commentators called it the beginning of the end for the Trump family's iron grip on image control. For the first time, they weren't dictating the narrative. They were drowning in it. Because Crockett hadn't just dropped a story. She ignited a reckoning, one that was spreading faster than they could contain. And this is just the beginning. Stay locked. Subscribe now and join us as we uncover the next bombshell.